By this, say it with me, by this is the only thing that's going to make a difference. Baptists, not your tithing records. Catholics, not your attendance at Mass. Charismatics, not your power. This is what will change the world. If you want to see the world change, focus on this, on this, on this. By this, all will know you are my disciples if you love one another. So how does God say we will be recognized and we will make a difference? Not by any of the things that we often make everything the main thing about, right? By this, by loving, by serving, by giving, by doing for one another what God has done for us. That's the most supernatural thing you could ever do. By going up to somebody who is down and out and saying, I am my brother's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. You don't know me, ma'am, or you don't know me, sir, but I want you to know I love you and I'm here to help you because that's why God put me on this earth. If only by this. What matters most? Now, in the New Testament age, there was a lot of things getting the attention of the world. God was still giving revelation, so there were and God was still proving his presence on earth through signs and wonders. And there was a lot of people in a board meeting at Corinth one night, and they were thinking, hey, what do we got to do to make sure we keep reaching people? And somebody over there was thinking, hey, well, we got to make sure we keep speaking in tongues because that impresses people. Because, hey, we're getting revelation from God, and God's given us this angelic voice, and we got to make sure we make that the main thing because that's going to make people go, wow. We got to make sure that it's all about the power and the miracles and the wonders. Somebody else says, no. It's all about how smart we are. It's all about, hey, we're right, they're wrong, we're right, they're wrong, we're right, they're wrong, they're wrong, they're going to hell, we're the only ones that are right. We got to make sure we cross our arms and say, you're wrong, we're right. If you want to get to heaven, you better be with us. Somebody else was like, come on. We got to make sure that people think that we have we have this connection to God and nobody else has got. So if you want in on what God is really doing in the world, if you want in on what God, what the mystical Gnostic knowledge of God, you better come to us because all these other people, they're just confused. They just have it halfway right. The Apostle Paul walked into that group and he said, wrong, wrong, wrong. Let me tell you how we're going to change the world from this point forward. Love never ends. Love never fails. He says, hey, these prophecies that we're so obsessed with, they will pass away. Tongues, they're going to cease. Knowledge and special knowledge, it's passing away. All this stuff that we're so obsessed with in our New Testament era that even churches today try to get back on because it's still working. Paul says all that stuff is fading away. It's ending. It was a time and place that had a purpose, but what God is going to use to change the world going forward is none of those things. The revelation is complete. The wonder has been made through Christ. The knowledge is what God has given to everyone, and what he's going to change the world through is by love. Loving one another. God's choice way of making Christianity known in our fallen world is by love. By this. Jesus in the New Testament calls us to leverage our lives, our relationships, our money, our jobs, all for God's glory. And Jesus made a statement one night. He says, greater things will you do than I've done. People go real crazy with that. Greater can't refer to scope and significance because what would ever and what could ever be greater than Jesus' death and resurrection? He wasn't saying that we're going to do things that are more impressive than that. Greater means, as in Great Commission, it means depth and width and scale. It means you're going to go wider and wider. You're going to go deeper and deeper. You're going to go farther and farther. You are going to love people in ways and in regions of the world that I never thought about going to. So we live and we love from this place. The church only makes true progress from this place. Services and traditions and shows and signs and wonders, they don't change the world. They might impress people, but they don't, and they won't ever, ever, ever make a difference in a dark, dark world. They won't change a sinner's heart. But I know what does change a sinner's heart. I know what has been changed in sinners' hearts since the Roman Empire thought they could stamp Christianity out. I know what changes every generation's heart when this is the main thing. Love one another. What if we made sure that the church was known for, above and beyond everything else, love?